Got a bit of a rant for you today, a bit of a rant video. I'm in the mood for a bit of a rant video today. Right, so I am pissed off and frustrated and annoyed, right, that you can seemingly never get to speak to someone when you ring up a company or a business. It's so annoying, isn't it? These AI and technological solutions, and find out more and more and more, they aren't solutions, they are barriers, and they get more control as well. So that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So if you like my content, do subscribe, give me a thumbs up and share as well. So I can make you a guarantee, right? Next time you ring a company, doesn't matter who they are. Could be doctor's surgery, God forbid you get through to a doctor's surgery. It could be an internet provider, an energy company, a bank, right? They will say, when you ring up, pick up the phone and ring them up, they will say, we are busier than usual at the moment. I can guarantee it doesn't matter who it is or what time of the day or night you ring. That's what they will say. Right, which is a lie, isn't it? Because if you're always busier than usual, like 100% of the time, well then that means there's no such thing as averagely busy or not as busy as usual. So they're lying. It's a convenient excuse to remove further that human-to-human interaction that, of course, customers want and need. I mean, it's so obvious this, isn't it, with businesses that they do business with, such as banks, such as energy companies, etc., etc. This was already a trend. This was already a trend in the last few years. I think many people can probably relate to what I'm saying. And the COVID pandemic, pandemic in inverted commas, of course, the COVID thing gave all businesses an opportunity to take a step back even more, because then they had a really good excuse, didn't they? Which was fine for a few weeks, a couple of months, but a year later many businesses were still using the same excuse. Due to COVID, we can't answer the phone. Due to COVID, our service is slower than usual. We apologise, but due to COVID, this, that and the other. I can't remember what the company was, but I logged on and there was a message on the homepage that said, due to COVID, this website has not been updated. Due to COVID, they can't update your website. What? You having a laugh? You know, it's funny, isn't it, when you look around the world and you think, who's taking the piss the most? These scientists, the politicians, the media, or, you know, companies? Or possibly many of the members of the general public. Anyway, we've got to be careful, very, very careful about the influence and impact that AI technology is having on our lives. Do you remember the days when you could ring up and actually speak to someone? You know, develop a bit of empathy, a bit of a connection, describe your problem. And if they were nice and good at their job, they'd chat to you, they'd listen, and they'd get it sorted. Those days are gone now, aren't they? And the catalyst for an existing problem was COVID. Convenient, that, isn't it? Very convenient. Yet another way to remove human-to-human contact, human-to-human conversation and interaction. Now, I'm not against AI as such and technology. I'm not against it. But we haven't, as a society, thought it through hard enough. And the pace at which AI and new technologies and existing technologies are being developed and enhanced and rolled out is frightening. So instead of speaking to someone on the phone, unless you're willing to wait for a long time and get passed between numerous different departments, because another feature of today's world seems to be many people in jobs not taking responsibility for wanting to speak and try to resolve an issue. So instead of that, number 25 in the queue, you think, all right, okay, let's go on the website. Maybe they've got a live chat, but no. It's a live chat, but it's a chat bot. right, who's got a stupid human name and he's got a big smiley face saying, how can I help you today? You type your question in and they can never help you, can they? So then you have to wait for a real human being, and that takes forever. It's frustrating. It's annoying, and it pisses me right off, honestly. It really does. Like I say, we have to be very, very careful. And one of the many lies of our age, and I've done a lot of optimistic videos lately, so let's balance it out a little bit today, eh? One of the many lies of our age, in this age, let's call this the age of inversion. It's the age of tyranny, but it's also the age of inversion, where everything that we're told, and I mean everything, well, in reality, it's the opposite. And one excuse is that, one example is apparently, you know, this is also the age of convenience, isn't it? And when I look back through the decades, I think, yeah, okay, the Western age of convenience. So, understandably, after the Second World War, people wanted comfort and convenience and an easier life and more choice and speed. Absolutely. So companies and businesses reacted to that and provided the solutions. And that, I would say, started with the convenience and junk food culture that we imported from the US. So that's how it started. And then you can go through to 24-hour rolling news in the 80s and 90s, and of course the internet and social media, and then convenience. Click your fingers, get a takeaway. Click your fingers, get a parcel delivered from Amazon. You know, if you want to find something out, just press a button on the internet. If you want to spew a vile, horrible opinion, just go on Twitter. It takes 10 seconds. Put in your 140 characters or less of bile. Convenient, isn't it? So in many ways, we live in the age of convenience and speed. But when it comes to positive outcomes for health, for emotionally, for community, for wanting to get a problem sorted, such as wanting to transfer some money, wanting to speak to your internet provider or your energy company about why they're ripping you off and putting your insurance companies putting your insurance premiums up. Well, we don't live in the age of convenience, do we? It's the opposite. We live in an age whereby they will make it as difficult as possible after ripping you off in the first place for you to speak to a human being who can understand your concerns and do something about it. So that's another example of inversion. How night is day, black is white, freedom is slavery. Frighteningly, it is for many people. Or should I say, slavery is freedom. Frighteningly, it is so for so many people. Got to be careful where how much AI we're going to allow AI, and I say the dark forces who want to roll out AI to the extent where it will completely take over our lives. Large sections of the population have already been primed not to think for themselves. I would say the kind of mass entertainment's done that, rolling news coverage, and then of course the internet and social media. So people have been primed already not to, the education system as well, which has failed in the West. I'd argue Western society has failed, but I'll do another video about that. People have been primed not to think for themselves. Now they're being primed through AI not to actually do anything themselves. You know, if you can switch a light on by saying, Alexa, light on, it's going too far, that, isn't it? It's going too far, and God knows where it all ends. So that was my message today. Just a little story, try and provide a little bit of background for it, a little bit of a summary. Please let me know what you think about the dangers that AI poses, and about how the example I provided may be another example of how human interaction and connection is being made more difficult. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.